Good morning and welcome to the First Unitarian Church of Cincinnati. My name is Reverend Connie Simon, and I'm glad you're here with us virtually this morning. The last couple of years have been challenging for all of us. They forced us to find new and creative and innovative ways of gathering and worshiping and living. Today's service is a collection of videos and audio recordings that have been done during the COVID pandemic. You might call it our greatest hits. I hope you enjoy them.
You've got to accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. You've got to spread joy up to the maximum, bring gloom down to the minimum, have faith or pandemonium's liable to walk upon the scene. To illustrate my last remark, Jonah in the whale, Noah in the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark? Man, they said we better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between. Noah in the ark. What did they do just when everything looked so dark? Man, they said we'd better accentuate the positive, eliminate the negative, latch on to the affirmative, don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between. No, don't mess with Mr. In Between.
There's a really good reason why Meredith is the Director of Lifespan Faith Development, and I'm not, as you'll see in these next two videos.
10 Beautiful Things by Molly Beth Griffin. Illustrated by Maribel Lechuga. Lily ran her finger across the Iowa map. An X marked Graham's house on an empty patch of land. Lily's new home. Graham's car tires hummed against the pavement. Lily felt the vibration in her hollow chest. "Let's try to find 10 beautiful things along the way," Graham said. Lily turned her eyes to the window. "There's nothing beautiful here," she said. She struggled to fold the map so it nestled into itself just right. "You'd be surprised," Graham said. And sure enough, at that very moment, the sun broke over the long horizon. Lily gasped. "There's number 1!" she cried. "Right you are, Lily," said Graham. Fence posts rushed past. Graham flipped on the radio, trying to fill the silence. Lily felt the complaints starting in her belly again, coming up her throat and nearly out her mouth. But then Graham shouted, "Number 2!" A wind farm had sprouted in the field beside the freeway. Spinning windmill blades gleamed in the morning sun. Lily concentrated on the game and found number 3 real fast. A red-winged blackbird perched on a swaying stalk of last year's corn. It was dark and bright all at once, its beak wide open in a song they couldn't hear. Later, Graham signaled and turned the car onto a smaller road. 2 more highways to go," she said. Lily popped a handful of crackers into her mouth, but food didn't fill up her hollow places. Graham cracked her window, and in rushed air and sound and cold. They crossed a bridge, and Graham chose number 4, the gurgly sound of a melting creek. Lily dozed off. She woke up when Graham tapped her knee and pointed out a falling apart barn. "That's not pretty," Lily said. "That can't count." "We're not looking for pretty. We want beautiful," Graham said. So it stood, halfway to 10. At a rest area, Lily bounced out of the car while Graham stretched her creaky body. Lily picked number 6. "The smell of mud," she said, inhaling. Graham shut her eyes and nodded slowly. "It's earthy and rich," she said. "I'd never really noticed." Lily breathed in the mud smell and focused on just that. It poured itself into some of the empty spaces in her. Back on the road again, the car seemed smaller. The humming in Lily had stopped, but her legs wanted to sprawl, and her stomach was getting queasy. "We're on a roll now," Graham said, and she was right about that. 7 and 8 were easy. A cloud shaped like a swan and a little brown calf that totted between the fences. Miles and miles later, they turned onto their last road, and the clouds began to draw close. The sky grew dark. The earth rumbled. Suddenly, the air exploded in bright flashes. Cloud banks traded lightning back and forth, showing off. "Number 9, Lily whispered. There was no room for other words. The storm took up the whole world, and it filled Lily up too. She was here with Graham, and for a whole minute, that was all that mattered. On they drove. Almost there. Not far now. When they'd been almost there for a long time, Graham braked, eased the car down a crumbling driveway, and parked in front of the farmhouse. "Here we be," she said, through the drum of the rain. "Home. But we only made it to 9, Lily said, slumping in her seat. "No? 10. Easy." Graham came around with the umbrella, and Lily stepped out of the car. "We're 10, Graham said. Lily sank into her familiar hug. None of this was easy. Maybe it would never be easy, but she belonged with Graham now. She belonged here now. This place wasn't empty, and neither was she. I wonder, have you ever had to make a difficult transition?
Is somebody in here?
It's just me, Carrie.
Who is me?
Sorry, it's me, Reverend George Augustine Thayer. I was the minister here years ago.
Reverend Connie always said you're in the building, but we didn't believe her.
I've been here all along. I never left. When I retired, you made me minister emeritus. But even after I died, I just couldn't bring myself to leave this place. To amuse myself, I play little tricks on you all from time to time. Nobody knew it was me until Reverend Connie came. I like her. She and I are great friends.
Wait, you've been here all along?
Yes, watching the congregation. I'm so proud to see it still here. This congregation has survived wars, slavery, the Depression, and even internal fighting, and it's still here. That makes me happy.
Well, I wish I could see you.
Oh, I can make that happen. Hold on. Here I am.
You look just like Reverend Connie.
Well, I needed a body for you to see me, and mine's a little worse for the wear right now after all these years, so I just borrowed hers. She won't mind. She's home sleeping.
Okay, this is really weird. Reverend Connie must be playing a trick on me. Or maybe I'm the one who's asleep. Maybe this is all just a dream.
Don't mind me. I'll just walk around for a while. In fact, I like to go into the sanctuary and reenact some of my sermons. If that's okay, that's what I'll do.
Sure, don't mind me. This is just a dream. Reverend Connie?
Hey, Carrie?
Reverend Connie, I didn't hear you leave.
What are you talking about? I just got here.
But I just saw you. You were wearing your robe.
I think you've been working too hard. Maybe you should go home and take a nap.
in the masses. Whatever faith you practice, whatever you believe. Oh heaven, heaven, what the hell is heaven? Is there a home for the homeless? Is there hope for the hopeless? Throw away your misconceptions. There's no walls around heaven. There's no code you gotta know to get in. No Minutemen or Border Patrol. You've gotta lose your earthly possessions. Leave behind your weapons. You can't buy your salvation, and there is no pot of gold. Oh heaven, heaven, what the hell is heaven? Is there a home for the homeless? Is there hope for the hopeless? Heaven ain't got no prisons, no government, no business, no banks or politicians, no armies and no police. Castles and cathedrals crumble, pyramids and pipelines tumble. But failure keeps you humble and leads us closer to peace. Heaven, heaven, what the hell is heaven? Is there a home for the homeless? Is there hope for the hopeless? Heaven, is there a home for the homeless? Is there hope for the hopeless? Heaven, heaven.
I'll be your bridge on troubled water. When you're down, I will carry you like a bridge on troubled water. I will lay me down. When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friendships can't be won, like a bridge over troubled water, I will lay me down like a bridge over troubled water. I will lay me down. When you're down and out, when you're on the street, my Lord, when evening falls upon, I will comfort you. I'll take your part
Each day provides us with an opportunity to love again, to hurt again, to embrace joy, to experience unease, to discover the tragic. Each day provides us with the opportunity to live. This day is no different, this hour no more unique than the last, except maybe today, maybe now, among friends and fellow journeyers, maybe for the first time, maybe silently, we can share ourselves.
And if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. And we could all together go out on the ocean, set me upon my pony on my boat. And if I were Roy Rogers, I'd sure enough be single. Couldn't bring myself to marry an old Dale. It'd just be me and Trigger. We'd go riding through the movies. We'd buy a boat and on the sea we'd sail. And if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. We could all together go out on the ocean, set me upon my pony on my boat. Now the mystery masked man was smart, got himself a Tonto, 'cause Tonto did the dirty work for free. But Tonto, he was smarter, one day said Kemosabe, kiss my ass, I bought a boat, I'm going out to sea. And if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. And we could all together go out on the ocean, set me upon my pony on my boat. And if I were like lightning, wouldn't need no sneakers, I'd come and go whenever I would please. And I'd scare him by the shade tree, and I'd scare him by the light pole, but I would not scare my pony on my boat out on the sea. And if I had a boat, I'd go out on the ocean. And if I had a pony, I'd ride him on my boat. And we could all together go out on the ocean, set me upon my pony on my boat. Set me upon my pony
A woman's hands will calm your heart and breathe you deep where healing starts. A woman's hands know what to do. A woman's hands will hold you through. This woman's hands will calm your heart and breathe you deep where healing starts. This woman's hands know what to do. This woman's hands will hold you through. A mother's hands will calm your heart and breathe you deep where healing starts. A mother's hands know what to do. A mother's hands will hold you through. Let us enter into a time of meditation, contemplation, and prayer. Feel the earth beneath your feet as it supports you. Feel the love of this community as it surrounds and enfolds you. Feel your breath as it flows in and out of your body. Listen to your heartbeat. Listen to your heart. Take another breath and hold it. The air you hold in your body is the most precious thing in the world, for your very life depends on it. And yet none of us can hold on to it for more than a moment, or else we would strangle and die. What is most precious to us must be released, so that we may live and live fully. Look into your heart, find what is there and hold it. The love you hold within your heart is the most precious thing in the world. And yet no one can hold on to it more than your heart can withhold its blood, or else we would die from loneliness and misery. What is most precious to us must be shared so that we may love and love fully. Look into your life, at those things that are most precious to you. Look again, you will find that their value lies not in being held, but in being shared. Life, love, laughter, longing, may we share these precious gifts, that they may return to us, multiplied beyond measure.
We receive fragments of holiness, glimpses of eternity, brief moments of insight. Let us gather them up for the precious gifts that they are, and renew by their grace, move boldly into the unknown.